In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this render for a client. One day I'm just doing my work in Blender and suddenly I got a message from Fiverr saying that this guy wants to work with you. After seeing that, I got all excited and took all the requirements he want, like what should the output look like, etc. and got to work. He wanted a man in a room with dim light and sunrise coming from a window, and he also gave me all the extra details by making a storyboard in Figma. After taking a look at those and understanding the project, I got into Blender and started working. Firstly, I created this box so that I can use it as a room. On top of that, I made this room and I modeled some designs on it just by extruding and making some places I beveled in some places. That's it. Now our room is done, and to add some extra decor, I add these planks like this. That's it. With this, our room is done. Now I need to bring a character. For the character, I went into Miximo and bought this character from there. I also imported the rig from Miximo only because I don't need to add so much characters and so much character animation. Detailed character is not important for now, so this is enough. For the next part, we need to make this room look as untidy as possible. So we need to model some tables, chairs and scatter them all around the room. We also need to add some paints here and there because the concept is a man will be drawing on the canvas. So let's do that.
A few moments later.
Till here I modeled everything on my own. These tables, chairs. I didn't take assets from websites and all that. But at this point I realized that it is taking more time than I thought. So I asked the client, is it okay to take some free assets from 3D websites? He said okay. And after that, I bought in all these paints, all these paintings from Blender Kit. These are all free. I downloaded every 3D assets which is closely related to painting because so many paints are not available for free. So I bought these cardboard pieces, these paintings, all that. From here, our modeling and scene planning is done. I also adjusted from a camera view so that most clutter is in this view only, nothing else. Now we need to adjust our lighting. For lighting, I just added sunlight. Sunlight is coming from the window and some area lights in the room so that the room is not very dark. It's just dim lighting. And also I added a fog so that the rays will be scattered. My fog settings are, these are my fog settings. I changed the color to slight brownish and orangish color, kept the density at 0.1 and everything at normal. After adjusting all this, my scene at present look like this. This is my work process. I first set up my scene, then set up my camera. After that I move to lighting. After lighting, if there is any simulation and animation, first I'll do animation and then I'll move on to simulation. Because first if I do simulation and animation to make any changes in the scene, my viewport will become slow and my PC will start to lag. So to avoid all that, I'll first set up my scene and then I'll move on to lighting. So the basics are done. I'll move on to simulation. So if even the PC lags afterwards, no problem for me because after doing simulation and animation, I'll just hit render and be done with it. For simulations, in this scene, I need some papers floating in zero gravity and some papers scattered in the room. First, let's make some papers scattered in the room and move on to papers floating. First, to make a paper in Blender, take a small plane like this and go into a physics tab, and we need to apply soft body. Before applying soft body, make sure that you have subdivided your plane. You can also subdivide more, but in this case this is enough. But if you want more, you can just go to modifiers and add subdivision modifier. That will also be enough. Now coming to simulations, add soft body object, turn off goal, change blending to 1, turn on simulation and self collision. With this, your paper simulation is done. To this you can add painting texture, any texture you want, and then you will be good with it. To make papers float, all you need to do is come into field weights, bring gravity to 0. That's it. Your papers will float. In the similar fashion, I made these papers. This is good. Now we need to scatter some paintings, papers on the ground. For that, I took papers like this, go into modifiers and applied the physics properties and then brought them to the ground and placed them wherever I want. With that, simulation and scattering objects, everything is done. Now finally, one last step is left, that is texturing. For texturing, I bought some textures from texture websites like Polyheaven, etc. And for some, I just went to Substance Painter. I made a video on it, how to make textures in Substance Painter. Watch it, you can make textures easily. I made some textures in that way. Mostly I didn't spend more time on textures because the room will be dark. No one will look at them particularly. I made simple textures and called it a day. So that's it. These are how I got paid for the first time in my life. And if you want to work, and if you want any work done for you by me, you can contact me through Fiverr or through Insta DMs or through Gmail. All the things are given in description below. And also comment your opinions on this render. How can I improve and what more can I do? I know this is not my best work, so give your opinions on this so I can learn from it. My next video will be about UV seams in Suspense Painter. So many people have subscribed to my channel by watching my previous video about Suspense Painter. In that video I told you I will make a new separate video about UV seams. So I'm making it. Subscribe if you like my content and contact me for personal work and projects. That's it. See you in the next one.